Hello, this is Travis Sabin with Adobe Analytics Product Management, and today I'm going to walk through the various use cases for our different visualization options that we have in Adobe Analytics. So if you've been in Analysis Workspace and you've been in our visualization menu, you get a long list of a bunch of different visualization types. And for many of you, you've probably wondered, which of these am I supposed to use? I'm not sure when I use one versus another, or what situation calls to use the fallout versus the donut versus the bullet, and you just might be overwhelmed by the number of choices. So in this video, we're going to walk through some common questions and some of the key use cases that our most used visualizations help address. So you might have a bunch of different business questions that you're trying to answer, such as how are my key metrics trending over time? Which products are my top sellers? What is the most problematic step in my fallout? Where are my visitors going on my digital properties? How often do my visitors return to my digital properties? Or what part of the world are my visitors from? Those are just some pretty standard questions that you might want to know about your customer base. So let's dig into each of these and figure out what are the best tools to use within Adobe Analytics to answer those questions. So first, how are my key metrics trending over time? So in this, I have pre-built a free-form table with an attached line chart to trend our key metrics, in this case, visits and checkouts, over the last 30 days or so. I have a free-form table that is not being shown, but I can expose it here, that has all the data, but I'm using a line chart to best represent that data being trended over time. So if I want to know anything that's kind of over a period of time, typically with daily, weekly, monthly, yearly granularity, that's when you're going to use a line chart to see how that data is performing. And again, you'll always have our confidence bands and built-in intelligence analysis to help you understand if you're performing on the level that you would expect to. So for trending over time, that's when you're typically going to want to use a line chart. So that's our first one. Second, which products are my top sellers? So in this case, we're building a table that is comparing one of your dimensions and ranking them against one another based on a specific metric that you're tracking. In this case, I'm tracking products by the number of checkouts performed for each product. And in this case, I'm using a bar chart to help me rank these against one another. So I can see here my PRD 1010 has been my best performing one over the last 6 months, and then my PRD 1011 and so on. And so these are my top 10 out of all my products that I have. And if I hover over each of them, you can see how many total checkouts I'm getting on each of them. This one has over 8,000, and you can go on down the list. So for any value that you're trying to track, that you're comparing against one another, that is when you're going to typically use a bar chart for that type of analysis. So again, in this case, I have a hidden free-form table. I can expose it here below. So I have my product dimension, my checkout metric, and then I'm just attaching a bar chart to that to see how they're comparing against one another and to visualize that. So that is that use case. Next question, what is the most problematic step in my fallout? So a fallout report is a funnel, and I have this pre-built funnel here using our fallout tool to help identify a specific sequence that I am very interested in. So I've got all my steps in my path here outlined. And so this is using, again, the fallout tool. And now I can quickly see where I'm seeing the most breakdown. And it's in my very first step. I lose 91% of my users between when they arrive and when they get to that very first step, which is browsing the category page. People aren't getting there very well. I'm seeing a lot of fallout in that specific step. So something in the design of my site is not lending them to get to that category page like I would want them to. The rest of my steps are actually doing okay. I drop off a little bit further down here as we get close to completing a purchase, but these first few steps are doing all right. It's really this initial step where I lose the most bulk of my users. So our fallout tool is really good for tracking a known step of events that you want to see your users perform and see how well they're doing at completing that. So if you've got an application process, a login process, a redemption process, anything like that, really, really good use for the fallout tool. It's a very common use case for that. So that is the fallout. Next, where are my visitors going on my digital properties? So to answer this question, I've taken our flow visualization and I've built a flow process. So I drag a dimension onto my flow builder, and now I've got, in this case, I'm tracking my pages. I want to know which pages my visitors are going to across my site. And so I can see most often they start at the home, and then next they go to search results. From search results, they kind of go all over the place, but I can see which ones they're kind of moving to next. So Flow is a really, really good exploratory analysis tool. If you're not sure where people are going and you're trying to track that down, using the Flow tool is great for addressing that use case of trying to uncover where people are actually moving. Where Fallout is measuring where you think or expect them to go, Flow is just identifying actually where they're moving and tracking that movement throughout your property. And so this can help you identify any missteps or unexpected steps that you might see and how you might address that or change it to better serve your users. So Flow is really good at answering this question of where people are going. Next, how often do my visitors return to my digital properties? So when we're talking about visitors returning or retention, then using our cohort visualization, our cohort table, is really, really, really good. It has a ton of options and values that you can perform when you build this out. In this case, for this one, I have visits over visits in the inclusion as well as visits for the return. And I can see how well they're performing month over month for the last 6 months. And I can see my average retention across here. 1 month out is around 32, 2 months is 27, and so on. And I can compare that average against each individual cohort to see which ones are performing better, like my December one, whereas my March one is underperforming. And so cohort is really good at tracking and identifying how your visitors are returning to your properties over time. And the cohort table has a ton of other options in the builder itself. So you can change how the calculation is done and track month over month or period over period retention. You can track the inverse of retention and see how often and quickly people are leaving. And you can do non-time-based cohort tables using dimensions instead of just time and things like that. So cohort has lots and lots of good functionality for tracking how people are returning to your digital properties and at what cadence. Lastly, which part of the world are my visitors from? So this one is using our map visualization. So you provide a metric that you're interested in. In this case, I'm just tracking visits to know where my visitors are coming from. And you can see our map visualization automatically starts grouping your users together based on their regional location. You can see in this case which countries are driving the most traffic. Right now, the US is the biggest winner out of all of my countries. And so if I want to, I can zoom in and it'll start adjusting the population so I can see where the bulk of my users are coming from. I've got a decent amount down in Georgia, over in the New England area, up in Washington, 2 million coming out of California. If I drill in more, I can get even further, deeper into different cities and regions. And so the map is really, really powerful to allow you to zoom in and out across the globe to try and track down where your users might be coming from, if you have any surprising user segments that might be visiting your properties. So those are just, again, some common questions that people have and the use cases that can be addressed by using our different visualization tools. That's not all of them, but hopefully that gives you a quick overview of what each of them perform and how you might use them to answer your questions throughout your analysis. Thank you.